Hi, I'm Cassie Gaden, dietetic intern here at Nutrition in Motion in West Des Moines, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about shopping for the right sports drinks. Now, as you know, hydration plays a very big role in exercise. The body needs sufficient fluid in order to function properly and to make sure you're achieving your optimal performance. Now, dehydration occurs when there's more than a 2% loss in your body weight, and that brings along different effects in the body, like increasing your heart rate, increasing your core body temperature and your skin temperature, increasing your perceived exertion, so it feels like you're working harder and harder, and also increasing your glycogen utilization, which means that instead of using carbohydrate as fuel, your body is pulling energy from your muscles, which you want to avoid. Now, all of these work together to decrease not only your aerobic performance, but your cognitive performance as well. So, if there's a negative impact in your split decision making, in your response times, these are all working against you. It can actually increase your risk for injury. Now, to stay hydrated, a good estimate for your individual body needs is to take half of your body weight, add back 10% of that half, and that's about how many fluid ounces you should be consuming. So, say someone weighs 140 pounds, half of that would be 70, 10% of that 70 would be 7, so you're left with 77 fluid ounces. And an even better indicator would be to figure out your sweat rate equation. Now that's to take your weight before exercising and then weigh yourself again after exercising, and that difference is going to tell you how much sweat you lost during exercise. Now, if you're not really that fond of math, or maybe you forgot to weigh yourself before exercising, you can also look at the color of your urine. If it's looking more like apple juice than lemonade, then that's a pretty good sign that you're dehydrated. Now, the recommendation is to drink 24 fluid ounces for every pound that is lost. But if you're exercising pretty vigorously or for more than an hour, a sports drink, like one of these shown here, might be a good option for you. Now, all of these sports drinks generally provide the body with three things: fluid, electrolytes, and sugar, or your carbohydrate. Now, the sugar content is relatively low compared to other sweet drinks like juice and soda. So I know a lot of people are worried about the risk of increasing your cavities or anything like that. Now, that generally is not going to occur unless you're sipping on that sports drink all throughout the day, which generally you're not supposed to, since sports drinks are meant for exercise. And the electrolytes in these sports drinks serve for two purposes: to make sure that your muscles are contracting and relaxing properly to avoid cramping, and to help your body retain that fluid more efficiently. And sports drinks, like I mentioned, are typically only necessary if you're exercising vigorously and for more than an hour. Otherwise, water is going to be just fine. Now, there are a few things to consider when looking at a sports drink. Carbohydrate concentration, or the sugar content, is one of them. You want to look for a percentage between about 4 and 8%, because that's been shown to be the most easily digested by athletes and to avoid stomach upset. Because if you do a higher sugar content, like the soda and the energy drinks, juices, and stuff like that, that can lead to different stomach upset and cramping and diarrhea, and you want to avoid that, obviously. Another thing to look for would be the sodium amount. Now, the sodium is generally recommended to have about 100 milligrams per cup of fluid, and that's shown to be most easily tolerated by most athletes, and that's about how much you would lose in your sweat. Now, if you're an excessive sweater, or if you're working out in hot and humid conditions, you might want an electrolyte balance that's a little higher than that 100 milligrams. As for potassium, relatively little potassium is lost compared to sodium, so the replacement rate does not need to be as high for that. Right. Some other concerns with sports drinks might be the added coloring or dyes that are put into some of them. Now, you could opt for a clear flavored drink, or you could even make your own sports drink, which is about half water, half 100% juice, and then a pinch of salt for every 20 to 24 fluid ounces. Now, keep in mind that it's not scientifically exact. Like, most of these sports drinks have been scientifically proven with a lot of different athletes to work, but making your own is a good alternative, especially for younger, less competitive athletes. But don't forget that a homemade sports drink is going to spoil a lot quicker than a normal sports drink, so your shelf life is not going to be as long, and that's mainly because the sugar source in your homemade sports drink is 100% fruit juice. Now, to compare different sports drinks, if it's a low intensity, less than an hour for your exercise, water's fine for that. If you're looking to get some electrolytes but don't want the calories, Propel might be a good option for you, because it is 0 calories, but keep in mind that means you're not getting your carbohydrate from that sugar, since an alternative is used. If you're working out a little more intense, a G2 might be a good option if you want something lower calorie but still has your electrolytes and your carbs. The Gatorade Thirst Quencher, that's going to have an even higher rate of electrolytes, so if you're working out more intense or if it's hot and humid out, that's going to give you a lot of your sodium and potassium, and it also has the carbohydrate involved. And then if you're really working out hard afterwards, you can try a post-game protein drink such as this one. This one's actually a shake, but they do come in more liquid forms if you don't like that consistency. And this is, like I said, is going to give you your electrolytes and your carbohydrate plus the protein, so that's really going to help you refuel and recover afterwards. Another thing to keep in mind with this though is that protein does come from milk, so if you have any type of allergy or intolerance with that, that's something to be aware of. Now, I hope that helped you out and cleared a few things up around sports drinks. If you'd like some more information or if you have any questions, feel free to contact Jen DeWall at Nutrition in Motion in West Des Moines or any other certified sports dietitian near you. Thanks for watching.